Hey everyone, Joe here. Got another little bit of a show for you today. This evening, we all happen to know right now that it is January 6th. And of course, the Democrats are, using it for all it's worth. I just have to fix one thing and we'll get going. Give me 1 second here. Um, my my stupid Streamlabs just decided to start acting up tonight. Well, technically last night. So here we are. Let me go ahead and get that brought up and then put it up for us right now. There we go. So here's the Democrats. I'm not kidding. This is the Democrats. This is what they did tonight. Schumer, the attack on January 6th is not over, he says. Let's take a listen to these clowns.
Let us remember the attack of January 6th is not over. It lives on in the threats to our election workers. It lives on through those who want to take away our right to vote, who want to legalize voter discrimination. We must never, never, never stop fighting for this beautiful democracy, which January 6th showed us is more fragile than we ever imagined. Let us
So there you have it. There are the Democrats. They're all holding fake electric candles because nobody trusts a Democrat with a candle. We don't want them to hurt themselves, so that is what we have given them is these fake candles here. Let's take a look in comments though. See what we see. So as we all know, it was a setup. Oh, there you go. There you go. Destroyed exculpatory evidence. This is the the seditious 8 here. Inserted fictitious audio into J6 video. That's actually true. Avoid key witnesses like Chief of Capitol Police. Correct. And remove Republicans from the committee. Correct. Televised hearings on primetime to influence the public. Correct. So there you have it. We got this person on the POV, you're storming the Capitol. And that is actually true. If you all recall, there was plenty of video of people rolling up before anybody left Trump's speech. There was people that were basically rolling up the snow fencing that was supposed to be the visual barrier for the people that were going to peacefully and march down there and let their voices be heard, as Trump asked them to do. And so they didn't know where they were supposed to be, and there was already shit going down when they got there, basically. So it turned into just craziness. They were let in by somebody named John Sullivan, who was a leftist, who was part of BLM, who was associated with Antifa, who was also pardoned by Trump. But you never hear about that guy. You know what I mean? You never hear about him. Let me get my mic pulled a little forward a little bit. You never hear about those people or anything. Let's see. I know J6 was BS, yes. And we got here we go. There's the video I was looking for. 1 second, let me get this booted up for you.
If they ask, I will respond, but I'm not doing it on a park because it's a diversionary tactic.
Understood. So we can pull this card out. Let's get Hillary's going to finish this card. We can pull it out for Q&A.
Okay. And then we can't say we will impeach him. We can say we'll call for it. We don't know because we don't have all the blue dogs with us on this subject.
Curious.
So let's look at the words. Okay, what else you got?
Okay, so just finishing this card.
And I would just say, and to declare every day at the Capitol a national security event. You understand what I'm saying?
That's good.
What a mess. What a mess. Did you have any confidence in this? I mean, son, what do you think then?
I think that it was the plan that they briefed on with the number of stakeholders that have signed off on it. We had some anxiety just about the
I'm
presence.
just on that in before today.
He was not our first choice before today. No. We've always been skeptical. Always been skeptical of some. He's terrible relationships with the union. He's particularly been, I think, not great handling the coronavirus pandemic with the workforce. He has done some good things well. He's hired well at the sort of third tier rank. He's done some good on some things on the operational side, but he's not a strong leader. He's not a strong leader.
Well, maybe we can say it this way. We can say, why don't we salute the whatever, blah, 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 with the failure of leadership at the top of the Capitol Police, and that's why I'm calling for the resignation. So let's soften it to them, and then do the failure of leadership at the top.
That's good.
And then,
So Irving,
it's no use keeping somebody around who's gonna blow it, right? That, you know.
you're gonna have to have a transition period anyway, Irving. You're gonna have to have a transition
already
period
going.
anyway.
He's already going.
Who?
Already.
Irving?
Yeah, we've been holding on his
No, I
retirement
understand that, but he wasn't going before the inauguration, is that correct?
only as a favor to us.
I don't care, I'm just talking about what exists.
Yeah,
What
we're just
inauguration?
gonna stay through February. Until we find a replacement.
But was he just incapable? I mean, he's a Secret Service guy.
He, in our conversation with him immediately preceding this meeting, was very transparent about what he thought of the mistakes that he made were, which were underestimating the crowd size and underestimating the president's influence inside the crowd.
Then I will say that further on now.
So there you have it. Just more proof that these people were staging the narrative, framing the narrative just after it happened. Now, if you recall, I've said this many times on my show. If you recall, we witnessed them leave and then come back, right? They came back later that day, and they went ahead and they used that event as an excuse to not investigate election fraud, which we all saw all over the country that year because of COVID and so on and so forth. So there you have it. A little bit more down in the comments. Let's see. Just performative, just shows how performative they are. I don't know if that video of the car, the longer video of the car where she basically admits that yeah, I'm having a little trouble. It's not loading. There we go. All right, so yeah, I don't see any more video. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm not seeing it at all. Wow, there's some stuff on X sometimes, bro. You can pause it and go look at that one. Anyway, so let me just take one last look and just make sure it's not in here. I didn't look in comments before I did this, so let's just go ahead and oh, it looks like I'm buried in the bottom again. Probable spam. Oh, there we go. What's this? Oh, well, spam is where to go. Isn't it interesting what Grok or not Grok, what X puts in spam? See, and this is a fact right here. This is Antifa, but
There's a door to the right. That's a cop. Going downstairs, back, flipping around, door to the left. That's what we're going to get over. Door's already open. We just need a plan. We need enough people. We need to push forward. Door right here. Not going that door.
I mean, we're just kind of rehashing shit that doesn't even matter at this point. But right. If you think the left dressed up like the right to raid the Capitol and change the outcome of an election they just won, you might be a special kind of stupid. Yeah. So that's not really what happened. They had been planning this anyway. To go ahead with this on January 6th, they thought that this would seal the deal for Trump. That's why they did it. They had been planning this for a year in advance. They were doing Zoom calls on it. No matter who won, they were going to do it. So, I mean, that's the reality of it, and there's plenty of proof of it. I used to have a whole hard drive full of it, and now that hard drive's broken. I got it in that drawer right over there, as a matter of fact. Couldn't recover it. But you know, there's the video of people saying, hey, you know, that's Antifa over there, do something about it. And then they did this narrative today. This guy's a cuck, a major cuck, Jamie Dupree. Security tapes released by the House Republicans show a final scramble 5 years ago this morning on January 6th to get slates of fake GOP electors to Senator Ron Johnson. The effort included a document drop by staffers outside the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's take a look at something really quick. 1960, Hawaii precedent. This is the precedent the Democrats set in 1960. Hawaii's election was razor thin and contested, just like this one in 2020. The Republican governor initially certified Nixon's electors. Democratic electors met anyway, cast votes for Kennedy, and submitted certificates claiming to be the duly elected and qualified ones while recount was going on. After the recount flipped the state to Kennedy, those Democratic certificates became official and no one faced charges. Sources across the spectrum, Politico, Fox, USA Today, acknowledged this as a historical example of contingent alternative slates to indisputed elections. And then they tried to also say that because, you know, Trump was like, you know, I didn't really lose, we need to really fight this, that was some kind of precedent he set, when that's exactly what Hillary did in 2016. Even better is that Hillary used money to pay for fake information about Russia that we now know is fake to start a narrative to undermine Trump's entire first term. And there are NPCs on the left who still believe it. So they don't really have a leg to stand on, if I'm being totally honest with you here, on anything that they're pushing today. It's actually pretty stupid, and it'll be over tomorrow. But take a look at this. I just wanted to refresh your memories. This is from January 20th, 2017.
And while the president was being sworn in, several protests in Washington turned to riots. People were smashing windows, trash cans. They even set that limousine on fire. Police in riot gear had to use pepper spray and tear gas to break up the violence. Most of the protesters remained peaceful.
Tonight at 6, NBC2 anchor.
All right, most of the protesters remained peaceful. That is not what I saw that day, but that's how they framed it. We heard that quite a bit throughout Trump's first term, mostly peaceful protests when things are on fire behind them and so on. Here's a little bit more. Take a look at this.
You all right, boss?
Police had to push back the protesters so firefighters could get to the flames.
Watch out! Hey, Beasley!
Small fires had appeared all day. This upped the temperature, which of course was the point.
One demonstrator threw a flashbang grenade back at police. It exploded in an officer's face.
Plenty of tear gas. 6 officers reportedly injured.
They will destroy your limo. You need to leave now. AK-47,
put the cops in piggy heaven.
But yeah, please go on and tell me about January 6th. There were 4 years of this. And what's interesting is you didn't really see this before Trump won. You'd see BLM doing things here and there under Obama once in a while, you know, the typical victimhood riot nonsense. Whenever a cop would, you know, shoot at somebody that was reaching for a gun or like pointing a gun at them or whatever. And so, you know, at the end of the day, what we saw, this didn't just happen. That wasn't organic. These people didn't just overnight be like, oh, we lost an election, let's light Washington, D.C. on fire. This was all just like you see today. The signs that are all printed with the different socialist, communist groups at the bottom and so on. Neville Singham, we all know the story. But I just wanted to refresh your memory about what really happened in January one year that we don't even look at as something, most people don't even think about it. But January 6th, the media had drilled into people's heads for 4 years straight, nonstop. Everywhere you turn, that's what the media would talk about whenever Trump came up. And they have literally mass programmed people to think that this was the new 9/11, when this, what we just watched on the screen, was far worse than anything that happened on January 6th. But anyway, guys, I will let you go. I will talk to you later. You all have a great evening. Peace out.